Hello, boys, and welcome to episode 3. How are we all?
Good.
Bloody good, mate. Bloody good.
Another lockdown.
How's the now? Also, we have the band back together this week. Sammy Carlton is back in business. How are we, Sammy?
Good, thanks. How you been, mate?
Oh, not too bad. But well, as you can tell, Daffy and Jack and I are all in lockdown, and you're still in Tassie, mate.
Well, yes, the plane was booked today, and I made the decision not to fly back because it wasn't a very appealing prospect flying back in there and being chained to my house. So I decided to stay here and do whatever I want.
Yeah, that's true. And Duff and Jack, how's your
A
lockdown
little bit rude.
going?
I'm not in lockdowns. That's just a little bit rude. But
Jack's already in
come on, boys.
I forgot about that. No, but then that only ended yesterday, didn't it? No, today.
Is Mentone not considered
today,
regional? That's the sticks, isn't it?
Oh, Sammy.
Mentone has its own laws and regulations, but
Well, it's got its own gates. I'm surprised it even gets in.
Oi.
They don't just let anyone in.
That's very true. All right, so shall we get started?
Yeah.
yes.
Who wants to get us started? Sydney v Carlton. Who's getting us started?
Well, being in Tassie, I watched most of it. I watched the highlights and whatever. So
Yes.
I've got a few notes written here, but I reckon Daff, he's the main man. I reckon he kicks it off.
Daff, get us started, mate.
Well, personally, it's a frustrating result because we were probably in it for 3/4 of the game. I know all those 3/4 we had pretty shit last 5 minutes in each quarter. Like we conceded red time gols every single
terrible.
week.
Terrible.
Yeah, like you knew it was going to happen.
100%.
Quarter. I don't know what they're doing. But other than the 3/4, the last quarter was atrocious. Like you could tell by the first bounce that we gave up.
Yeah.
They ran out of legs, and it was just another disappointing result for the Blues.
And we mentioned
What do you think the biggest thing is there?
Hey,
What do you think the biggest thing is there? Why does it consistently happen?
mental. It's got to be all mental.
No,
I reckon they are already saying,
Or the other team brings the heat and they just can't handle it, or what is? What do you
that's
reckon?
probably almost mental as well.
mental and fitness.
Yeah.
And we brought in Andrew Russell.
I think the fitness thing's wrong. Those guys are fit as shit, really. But really, it's I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore. If we lose this week,
well,
we're going back to those three
going
words.
into it favourites. So.
we are going to it.
Home game in Sydney.
Yes, but so who do you reckon was the standout as in best players wise? Sammy, who would you reckon?
Well, mine are almost penciled in. They almost seem like the same every week, but I'm going to go Walsh, Cripps, and Mackay. Walsh with 33 disposals and 9 clearances. Superstar. Cripps, 27 disposals, 18 of them contested, laid 6 tackles and kicked 3 goals, which is, outstanding. And obviously Mackay, 3 goals as well.
And I just find it crazy how Sam Walsh once again got most disposals.
he's a star. He will get the most.
He's just a dog.
He's a star.
I think more for our team is getting guys like Setterfield more touches. Walsh is always going to have 30s or late 20s, but guys like Setterfield, they get 15 to 20. They get about 15 to 20. We need another ball winner.
Yeah, we do.
Speaking on Setterfield, he had 5 less touches in the Sydney game than he did in the whatever game was before that, Hawthorn, I think. But I feel he had a much better. He had a much better game on Sunday than he did against Hawthorn.
That's what I thought. That's what I was going to say. Because his disposals. I mean, I'm going through his thing now. He had 69 disposal efficiency. That isn't as high as you would expect, but I still think he actually played an alright game.
It was in the guts, and that's his game.
Yeah. I still think he did. I mean, as you said, Jack, I think he did better against Sydney than he did against Hawthorn. And Hawthorn, as you said, he got 21 disposals.
Yeah, 21 against the Hawks, yeah.
I just find that unbelievable how a player can have 5 less disposals. And I literally thought that because I thought he had more disposals because I actually noticed him throughout the game. But
you see, that's very similar with last week, how Walsh had 30 and Mitchell had 44.
Yep.
Walsh had such like a lot more impact on the game with 14 less touches. So that's probably similar to that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was about to touch on earlier. So with the best moments, so I had Cripper because 27 disposals, but I think that was the performance that makes him the number one skipper. He needs to be captain of the Carlton Football Club. I think we spoke about it last week.
I do agree.
But I'm not too sure because I kind of, when it was announced that they were going to do the co-captaincy with Sam Doherty and Patrick Cripps, I was like, I don't mind that. But when you think about it, there's no one really else who's really doing that. And I feel like if I was a player at a football club, I would want to listen to one voice and one leader. And of course, Sam Doherty could still be some sort of leader. But Patrick Cripps,
of course, the
midfielder, that was a captain's performance right there. 3 goals, led the tackles once again, and 27 disposals. Like Cripper is back. What do we reckon, boys?
Doherty got 21 as well, though. But at a higher efficiency.
Yes,
the problem. I don't think his presence wasn't known as much, but he's still.
I just think Doherty almost had a bit of that first part of the season, kind of backing out of contests and stuff like that. You look at the stat sheet all the time; he looks great. I'm telling you. Last month or so, he's been fantastic, but he just makes those decisions where he doesn't go or.
See the one where he tried to kick it off the ground and completely missed it. I think Parker, then kicked the goal. Sydney goal. And
then he fumbled one, and then Wicks gold, and then
things like that. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe if you take like I think Cripps is sort of the player where he'll strive as a captain. Like he sort of loves a big moment sort of player in that sense. But with Doherty, it might relieve a bit of pressure off him where he can just settle and just focus on playing his game. Might help him out a bit.
Yeah, 100%. Just being an on-field leader, for his defence or wherever he is playing, just to be a leader. It doesn't have to be a title.
Well, if you look at the Tim Payne sort of thing, use cricket as a perfect analogy. Steve Smith isn't the captain, but he's still telling people where to go. He's still the on-field presence. I know it's a different sport, but same sort of premise is the same.
100%.
I love that. Yeah.
Any other positives?
I was going to mention Harry Mackay.
Oh, you're good.
He
could have had a bag.
I know he could have had a bag. He started so well.
I still think he was playing well though. Like those marks,
he was very good.
You know that mark where he went like he stretched his arms. This guy is an absolute star.
Unbelievable. He's the number like I said it last week. He's the number key forward in the game. He's a number.
How much is he leading the Carlton by now?
We have got him,
man. Jack.
3, I think.
Few goals.
Well, there you go. If you can imagine him kick 8 goals, not 3 goals, 5.
Oh, and he had the chance. He kicked 3-5.
Yeah, I do agree with Jack.
Could have had a dozen earlier in the year.
In the chat before saying those like misses were when it was like the end of the game and he was a bit knackered, like he was a bit tired.
Yeah,
he looked a bit frustrated actually when he was kicking those shots.
He does see. I think him and his brother, they are the kind of players that, and Peter, they're quite funny blokes. Like they will get a little bit frustrated, I reckon, at times. But I don't know. Like, I don't think that's a good enough excuse either, though. Like if you're leading the column and you don't play the game for yourself, and it's a team sport, but surely you want to be converting at least a few more of them. 3 goals, 5. Like you settle for 5 goals, 3 or something, but 3 goals, 5 is pretty.
Is that a good thing though to show emotion on the field in that sense? What do you reckon?
I guess
Richo used to carry on a bit. Like, and I'm not saying Harry does
a lot.
A bit, a lot.
I've never
noticed, and Harry wouldn't do that, but it's sort of
no.
I've never noticed it.
But I feel like he would get frustrated as well.
Yeah, but I kind of like that because
it's good.
If he gets frustrated and someone gets into him, he'll just be like, "Fuck off!"
I know it's a little while ago now, but did you see the Walsh? It's been a little while ago now, but Sam Walsh going down and then Harry. People
spoke about it last week.
He didn't actually. Oh, sorry, mate.
No.
I listened. Was it? What must have been in the first half an hour? You've already spoke about it. We won't worry. But I don't think he saw it, did he?
No, I don't think.
You'd hope not. You'd hope not.
As said, you'd hope not. Yeah.
But that's the exact moment. Yeah. Like you just need him to get angry. If you obviously don't punch someone out, but just get a little bit in the game. Like
it shows a bit. I think it adds a bit of character. Like everyone, if you compare the footy now compared to before we were even born, like there's not as much characters in the game.
Yeah, I know.
It's what they used to be, like the Wiz and all that sort of stuff. Like one player, and they show a bit of character, like what Ben's been doing recently with his videos and all that, taking the piss out of the bloke in the crowd, like things like that. Love that bit of character. Then people say that they cry out for that, and when they do that, they condemn them. So it's sort of like, what can you do? But I like it. It's good.
All right. So obviously it was a loss last week, boys. So shall we move on to the worst moments? What do we reckon?
Yeah,
I think just collectively, just the back six as a whole, they're not working together. Like I don't think like the Fox Footy showed some vision when Sam Wicks kicked that late goal, and like Sard backed out of the contest, and his man was Wicks, and he got the goal. Like I don't know what's the connection between the back six. What do you guys reckon?
I don't know what's wrong, because that was our strong suit when Bolton was at the club. The whole aim of the reboot was to make sure our back six was right, and then progress.
And then we move on. Yeah, exactly right. That's what it was. Yeah, as you said, the back six was always a solid thing we did have. And
now it's like
everything but.
It's like
but like the main thing that comes to mind when you think about that, it has to be the change of coach. Like there's no other explanation.
I mean, Teague was the forwards coach when he was under Bolton, so I don't know if that's sort of a result of that.
Yeah,
but when you look at it on paper, Sam Doherty, who's when you look at it actually on paper, like Jacob Wiedering, like Sam Doherty, they are predominantly good backmen. Liam Jones, as well. Like, but then either there's not working together or whatever. They're all individually solid players.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
but they're just. I don't know if they're not working together. They're not calling people. I don't know what it is, but something going on there.
Exactly, an ongoing issue the whole season as well. It's not just we win. Like, there's been like we always concede high scores. Like the Essendon game, obviously that was a great game. We won the game. Who cares in the end? But still,
conceded
7. You know what I mean? Like I know they're not a shit side, but it's just
like the thing with I don't know if I mentioned, but the 2-on-1 with Buddy, and then I think it was Wiedering and Jones, and Jones hit Wiedering. Although it's slightly different, it reminded me of was it Cameron Wood and Levi? That kind of don't bring it up together, sort of.
Wood. He wasn't looking.
No, I wasn't.
It's just stuff
things like that. That is frustrating.
I knew it was going to happen. Absolutely knew it was going to happen.
Was it Wiedering going into Jones? I can't remember which one it was.
Jones, I reckon.
Yeah. Buddy put
Buddy like kind of like jostling for position, and then Jones just does his flying shit like he usually does.
But then again, that does work a lot of the time too. Like when Jones runs in and gets it, this does look pretty bad.
Because
it'd have to be.
I love Jones.
It'd have to be another top 10 defender.
Yeah,
it's just he makes these errors, man.
Just the errors. Because I
do agree.
Yeah,
I think because we're so spoilt by Wiedering and his boys. I know Wiedering, he's just so good. Yeah. And then you see Jones, he's a bit more frenetic and raw.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't know. It's hard to explain Jonesy. Like I really love him, but I don't know.
No, because like I said last week, how at his best, it was a big call, but I still reckon, I still stand by the call. He is better than Darcy Moore at his best. I still believe that is true.
And it is a big goal.
But I still believe that is true because they're the same.
Usually we leave the big calls to Jack. Come on.
But then with
you're not wrong.
Like when Liam Jones actually took his his next stride towards being a defender against the Giants, everyone was loving him, and it was just so good to see that. And he just. I don't know.
I think Wiedering sort of just over.
Because I love Liam Jones. He's one of my favorite players, and I want him to do well. But I don't know if that's all mental or he just goes too attacking for a defender.
It seems like he tries to get to every. And get that. He's literally trying to win the golden fit. He wants to actually win that. He's just trying to get to every contest.
Yeah, you need to remember, you have other players on the field. So that's what I think he needs to remember. It was a bit like Cripper a couple of weeks ago when we were saying he needs to use the players on the field. He can't leave it all up to him. And I reckon that's what he did pretty well last week. And I reckon that's why when he took and then when he had his moments, he took them like a leader should. It was good to see. But
so I still think there's one moment that Cripps had. It might have been on the wing. I don't know if I'm being stupid or not. But it was on the wing.
I think I'm. Yeah.
He did it again. Like he took too long. He didn't give it. Like the guy was there, and he had a great game, best on ground for us. But like, it's just why is he doing that? Why are we letting him do it? Why
he could have easily, if he got there. I don't remember the exact incident, but then again, I guess there's other 32 or 27 disposals, whatever he got. It's probably going to happen as well, I guess. Like, if you got, most of them are going to go to the players. There's going to be one or two probably. It would be good to see him cut it out. But the one thing improvement I liked was the goal kicking. I think that's from to kick 3 Australia, whatever it was, like that, compared to what he would have kicked last year or whatever. Yeah. That was probably the biggest takeaway from his game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When
he kicked that goal directly in front, I'm like, here we go. This is Cripper. Like, this is the man. And when he kicked that, I kind of felt like that set the tone. And I would have loved for everyone to get behind him after that. But
I reckon every goal
after that
should have been, everyone getting up and about.
Yeah.
Like, I know the last quarter we were pretty much down and out to kick the goal, but he still willed his team. You know what I mean? Like,
I was checking out. So out of the 27 disposals, I don't think I wrote this down, but 15 were kicks, 12 were handballs.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Usually it's almost sort of reversed and then some. Usually it's predominantly the handballs, which I think showed a big.
Yes. Yes, because
and he had over 500 meters gained compared to 90 last week as well.
Yeah.
That's a product of that, I guess.
Because what I was actually about to say, because I'm not usually the stats man, I usually leave that to Speechly. But I actually found out that this is the third game this year that he's had more kicks than handballs. And the two other games
how did you find that?
Hey?
How did you find that?
I went back through the season, mate. I've done my research. But
love it, Pat.
The two games were against Port Adelaide, where he had 14 kicks and 13 handballs, and against Essendon, where he had 13 kicks and 11 handballs. So I reckon that's an unbelievable stat.
Yeah,
unbelievable stat.
Yeah, it's definitely good research.
Yeah,
I like it.
Which actually probably shows. Just kick the ball, like what Daff was saying. Like he looked a bit. Was it a handball? I think you were talking about Daff.
Yeah. It was just on the wing where he probably should have just done something else with it. Like he just took a little bit too long. But that was his own mistake, really.
Nitpicking at this point.
Yeah. 100%.
How's the 6 free kicks for? Did you get that in your stats?
Sydney were targeting it. Yeah, that was fair.
One near the boundary. That was.
Do you think but from what I saw of the free kicks, do you think they happen most weeks? But he sort of made it a bit more known by throwing his sort of hands around. Like when he got held there, I don't know. He seems like the kind of player to me that would sort of just keep running and not worry about it. But there's a lot of players out there that would, as soon as they get touched, they jump 30 yards, so they get a free kick. Like, did you reckon he sort of tried to make himself a bit more known that there was a free kick there? Like when he was being held, I can't remember who was holding him. But he put his arms up or whatever. Which is good. Like a lot of the time, when you go to the games and with Harry as well, you see, I'm not blaming the umpires, don't get me wrong, but there is a lot of holding that sort of does go off on the ball because our players, except probably Murphy, it's probably the one thing I never used to like about his game. He'd go in sort of sometimes he'd lift the head up and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I never liked that, but do you think our players, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen to all the other teams, but Harry sort of looks like he gets held a bit off the ball and he doesn't make it known, or I don't know. That's what I took away from Chris.
I think it was Danger. It was a week or two ago. I think he literally came out and said in the media that like he plays for 3 years. Like that's the way the game's played these days. So I don't know if Cripper sort of heard that and was sort of just a little mentally implemented that a little bit because like Danger one of the best in the league. But I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, like you would hope. You go, Duff.
No, I think
they're fighting.
I think Cripps is probably one of the most unprotected midfielders in the comp.
Yeah,
100%. Just because he's big, just because he's bigger than an average.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the thing.
What the fuck? All year.
Free kicks aren't paid or not paid due to someone's size.
Yeah,
just annoying because you get it to him right. It's a good entry, and then it misses him because he's getting dragged by a defender.
Exactly right.
Nah, it's right.
It's not his fault he's big.
Yeah.
100%.
It's not his fault he's a big boy. But what I liked from when Harry, even it wasn't the best, because a lot of our forward entries haven't been the best this year. safe to say.
Yes.
And we've still got the Coleman, medal winner potentially playing for us. A lot of time when he doesn't mark it, he still does bring other people into the game like Owies and potentially, sort of Fisher coming forward. Now, when he brings it to ground, he crashes because he's that big-bodied sort of player, which what I think Levi used to do well. Even he's a good contested marker, he used to be. And then, he used to always crash the packs as well, though, and bring a couple of other people down because he was just a solid guy.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
But yeah, which is what I like from Harry on the weekend as well.
Yeah.
Spot on, mate.
Yes,
there was a couple of likes in there. There was a couple of takeaways.
I think one of my biggest pet hates that I'll cover now before we get into later on, but it was just the tackles. Like we got Sydney out tackled us by 30 on the weekend.
Oh,
like that is atrocious.
Oh no.
And they had 100 more disposals than us as well, and still out tackled us by 30.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's just all sad.
It's tough. Because also 66.3% disposal efficiency for the game. Game, they had 78. They had 78%. Yep. That's where the game's won pretty much. They have 12% more disposal efficiency. We're 18th in the league, boys.
A lot more uncontested possessions.
Yep.
Almost got 60, 70 there.
Rather than teams like North Melbourne, Collingwood, Hawthorn in disposal efficiency, there's a problem.
See, I can't believe that. I literally thought that we're like 18. But I'm like, we are below North Melbourne in disposal efficiency. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Their percentage is like 39.
It's real sad. Yeah.
I mean, like, it's 57, but like, I just couldn't believe that.
We get your point.
I couldn't believe it. And I'm just like, I didn't know what else to say. But also what I found really interesting about the stats is about Cottrell. He led so I'm pretty sure he ran 15 Ks and that was the highest running player for the game.
15 Ks for 11 touches.
Exactly, 11 touches.
30%.
But he's not he's not a stats player, I guess.
He's not. There's like at this point, like I love that not a stats player. Like I love those guys, but is it getting to the point that we have too many
of them,
not stats guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because what we
Lachie
had,
Plowman being one of them, Levi being another, Parks potentially.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players below 10 disposals for the game.
That's not winning your games at all.
And they were Cottrell, Betts, Owies, DeConning, Jones, Pitnet, Gibbons, Casbolt, Murphy.
Yeah, but Betts kicked what?
Murphy
2 goals.
I'm not saying, because there's players like Betts who actually, when he gets,
I get your point. Yeah,
he's good. But
what about, whilst I'm still talking about this game, before we move on to the next, I think we have to talk about the goal from Betts.
Oh, unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah. Vintage.
One touch, literally one paw, and he snapped it. Unreal.
I don't know how the moment as well. Like, like Doug Nichols round, round, the one hand, up by a few goals too, I think, at the time. Like, it's pretty impressive.
Well, he almost kicked it from the same spot later in the game, and the one that bounced straight up and hit the post.
Yeah.
That was
got a crap bounce. Yeah,
that goal.
Yeah.
Could have been Dan Turner, but there's too many
moments. Yeah.
As soon as it left the boot, you were just like, it's going in. As soon as it left the boot, I'm like, it's going in. I literally celebrated as soon as he.
Jack kicked a good goal too, I think, didn't he? Giovanni.
Yeah, he did too on the run. Yeah, he did too.
Yes.
But players like that, they always show up. Jack Silvani just has the blood. Like, he doesn't need to have a lot of touches. But Jack Silvani,
53% disposal efficiency from Jack too.
But he still came out with 15.
That's sort of average for Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, he had the same amount as Ansard.
But but then like he comes out with 15 disposals, and he's playing as a forward. But I reckon some of those disposals he wouldn't move up the ground a little. But
what about Williams?
he does
17
disposals,
14 of which were kicks at 76% with a goal, with a good goal.
I didn't mind his game, but I mean, I still think he probably should have done more. But I mean, it wasn't terrible. That's my.
I think he played pretty well.
Yeah, I think he was pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he played pretty well.
Yeah,
6 rebound and 50s.
Kicked a goal too. Yeah.
So before we move on,
it wasn't bad.
Should we do we have another worst moment for the game, or is that all done?
I think we've covered it pretty much.
I can move on to mid-season draft. What do you reckon?
I reckon we should move on to the mid-season draft, boys. Who wants to take it over?
Yes. Well, I can go if you like. I did do a bit of research into Alex Murkov. Is that good if I go?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously played the first 2 games of the played the first 2 games of the VFL season.
Looks good.
The first one, which we lost by a point from memory to Southport. Then obviously the next game smashed. Brisbane Lions. He had 36 hit-outs in that game. He's 210 centimeters tall. Obviously, he signed up on an 18-month contract too. So he will need, I think, a bit of, I guess, growth into him.
Yeah.
So you were saying he's a volleyball player or something, I think.
Yeah.
So you need a bit of growth into him, but I think he will hopefully complement TDK pretty nicely. So I don't think Pitt's a long-term option, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He'll probably get us through the year or two, but I think so 18-month contract. I think that gives Pitt, the next 2 years or whatever. But then, I think hopefully he'll complement.
He's 210 centimeters.
Yeah.
So it's big.
I think he's similar to a lot of that are coming from other sports just to get more footy into him, like skill based. He's probably he's an absolute athlete, right? I'm sure that's why Carlton picked him up, and he's a big fella. So as long as we don't develop players very well.
We
Matty
don't.
Cruiser as a ruck coach.
That's pretty handy.
That'd be much better.
Yeah, he had pretty good skills as well, with Cruz. So.
But for a big guy, the ground ball work and all that sort of stuff. He went all right.
Yeah, I'm not sure Murkov is at the he averaged 5 touches a game in the 2 games. So his skill level in ground ball work isn't great at the moment, but plenty of time.
But from what I've seen and what I've heard, his actual ruck work, his tap work's pretty solid. Like obviously 36 hit-outs, only 6 hit-outs in our loss, 36 hit-outs against Brisbane.
The problem with
percentage,
the thing about the 36 hit-outs, was it, versus Brisbane?
Yeah, we kicked it a lot of goals.
Yeah, they didn't have a solid rock.
There's a lot of ball ups. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Carlton, who's a basketballer.
Yeah.
As well, so they're both going at each other. It's still good, but it'd be good to see him against AFL ruckman.
I don't think you're going to run at it. Probably. Do you reckon you're going to game? Sort of when do you see him playing his first game?
I reckon we'll play one next year.
It has to be next year, maybe.
I don't think he'll play one this year.
No,
I think he needs.
He should, unless we have massive injuries. I can't say mine this year.
Yeah, I reckon he could take over Levi if he's really bad, and potentially Pito goes down.
You're saying Pitt, TDK?
No.
All the same team. Or?
Oh yeah, no. But then I'm just saying that if they go with TDK and Pitt, and Levi goes down, and potentially Pitt or TDK gets injured, or I would touch wood, but if one of those goes down and they need another tall, he could be an option, and that's the whole reason for this mid-season draft.
I just think a problem with him is probably I don't think he's probably good enough to be a forward at this current.
From what I've heard,
he'd be more of a just ruck.
Yeah,
ruck go off sort of.
Yeah.
All right.
But because what I was about to touch on is I'm just glad that they got a ruck forward, because I think we were just really in need of another option other than Levi, TDK, and Pitt. Because let's be real, there's no one else really that we can really choose from as a tall perspective. There's no one really else. But I reckon we should move on.
And that's why, our second pick. That's why I was a little bit concerned we took another small instead of another key back, because Wiedering and Jones, we have no depth outside of those two.
Yeah.
But Jordan Boyd, what do we reckon?
Don't know much about the kid. So
I don't know much about him. Yeah.
The positive thing is, similar with Corey Durden, who we picked up in the main draft. They've already played senior footy at VFL. It's like state level, so I think that's good. And also that I touched on before, that Austin was the list manager at the Dogs, so he would have knows him. The potential. Everyone's potential at Carlton, but
we love it.
100%.
So he averaged 16 touches and 4 marks a game this year. I think predominantly playing on the wing, but no score. He hasn't hit the scoreboard this year in the VFL.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's okay. It's not much else really.
How long are the contracts for the mid-season? Are they 18 months?
I think
18 months, I believe. That's
18.
Okay, that's good.
Oh.
Well, I guess
they were 6 months.
It's 1 year plus the half. You get obviously mid-season, so it's 6 months there to play you out, and then the next year pretty much.
I get you. Okay.
I guess that's the theory behind it. I don't work for him, but
with with Jordan Boyd, would you reckon he would get a game, or he's a little bit too far?
No.
So there's got to be a lot of
shouldn't be
people
playing,
in
let's be
front
real.
of him for that sort of position.
He's in the same position as like Sam Ramsey, Honey, Burden, who've already trained with the team, and probably better than him.
Yeah.
Why? Carlton would probably do
It'd
that.
be a bit strange if he got a game ahead of all them, I would have thought.
But also, it's the work
he is
as well.
Yeah, he's a great kicker of the football.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do agree, yes.
Yeah. Strange to think about. Like, what do you reckon Levi out-managed, or is he going to get managed for the West Coast game? Got to look after him, I reckon.
Oh.
No.
If he plays,
I sincerely hope it's out-omitted.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
Wasn't Murphy out-omitted in the end or whatever?
Yeah.
Murphy out-omitted in the end, so...
For the Sydney game?
Yeah, it was,
Sydney game, yeah.
He was omitted for that, then he was subbed though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that means that he might be playing this week because he's not omitted. So I reckon he could be playing this week.
No, yeah, Murphy's on the interchange bench.
Yeah, so
maybe he's on the interchange bench, so he's possible.
Yeah. Maybe the teams tomorrow might come out as he might be omitted, but I don't know. I don't know if I want him to play or not. I don't know. It's a tough one.
I think in his age and the games played, don't get me wrong, he's played a lot of games, he's been a great servant of the club, but I think when does it get to the point when it's been too long? You got to put a lot more players, younger players that should be getting a game, I think, in front of him. Yeah. Dow probably being one potentially that needs to get a bit of a run at it, especially when you got to be honest. Finals, we're not going to make finals.
Well,
I think that's
long shot at this point.
I
don't think it's a big call when you haven't been a team in the top 8.
Nah, you are like the way that we're playing now. It will be a miracle if we somehow find a way to.
So why play Murphy? And
exactly
Levi?
right.
No disrespect. Why play them?
The problem
exactly
is,
right.
are they actually the right guys? Do we even want? If we were in finals contention, should they be getting a game?
Who Murphy and?
I mean,
but I don't get
if
why.
they were playing at the level they are now, probably not.
Look at guys like you look at Sydney, right? They're going to make finals. Look at their midfield, man. I know they've still got Kennedy and Parker and that. They've got Campbell. They've got Errol Goulden.
Yeah,
he's got first-year players, man.
Yeah, I know.
Like if they're at the club,
yeah.
And they're getting a run at it, and I think it shows you when they get a run at it what happens. Like Dow, he'll string a few games together, and then they'll drop him, bring Murphy in, or it depends on if Murphy's playing or whatever. But like, it'd be good to get Fish back. I reckon Fish goes straight back in, or what do you reckon?
I reckon he does go straight back in.
I'd like to see him play a game in the two. I think I might be a little bit different here, but I reckon he should play a game in the twos first.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's named on the bench.
I think that
with you blokes in Melbourne, there's no VFL or anything, I assume, is there?
They might be playing.
They're all in Sydney. They don't play seniors. They're not playing twos or anything.
Yeah.
I think Parks should be in. Fisher should be in. Like otherwise, Fisher's basically just having another week off.
Yeah, I know.
Like I think Parks should be in for probably Levi, I guess.
Yeah, Levi. Yeah.
Fisher in for Gibbons.
Yep.
So Gibbons out. Yes.
Gibbons out.
Then does that leave room for Dow? Dow's a sub. Dow's where?
Dow will be.
So the extent of the change is Murphy, Dow, Fisher, Casbolt, Parks, Setterfield, Nunes, and Fogarty. So 4 of those guys play, 4 don't.
Parks needs to play.
I think Parks needs to play as well.
Fogarty.
He needs to play.
I don't mind Fogarty.
I love Fogarty.
I don't think he's been great last few weeks. Personally,
you still need to play him. You still need to persevere with him.
Have a look here.
Yes, but why haven't we done that with guys we've drafted?
Yeah. Ooh, that's pretty bad. Yeah, 42% disposal efficiency from the fog.
Yeah, really. Like it's been a problem.
Yeah,
his ball use has been a bit iffy. Like, he's played every
game. I do agree. Yeah,
apparently for a while, but he's got like a few goals. He hasn't made the distance from like 40 on the run. Like
do you know who?
He's a little bit tentative.
I've already covered that, but I like Stock. I mean, I was driving around Tassie, so I only watched best part of it. I think Stocker. I like Stocker.
He's good.
I think it'd be all right.
He's good.
11 disposals, so it's not massive by any stretch, but 90% disposal efficiency.
10%, yeah.
Very good. He seemed like he just attacked the ball, like he chased up his second efforts and all that, which I think he played.
You think he will end up being a midfielder long term?
I like him. I do actually like him as a defender. He's getting a little bit caught out at the moment, but I mean, we didn't have player last week, so it's a little bit tough on him. But I do like his aggression in the back line. I honestly don't mind it.
That's what I liked.
I love it. Because I think it was one time when they had a little bit of a scruffle towards the end of the second.
Scruffle.
Third? Scruffle?
Scruffle.
That's a new word for it.
Bring back the diff.
But
I like that.
Bring back the scruff.
But I think it was who was in like someone was in there, and then Stocker and Cripper came over, and I'm like, fuck yeah, Stocker. Like, you love to see that. Back up your
Even
players.
Sardi got in there. Sardi got in there.
I think Sardi did get in there, but Sardi always does that.
Jumperies.
Yeah.
I feel like Sard always kind of
need Yaron back.
Yeah. Nah, but then like when I saw Stocker go in there, I'm just like, Stocker, go, mate. I love that.
Same.
Because I think they had buddy Sam Wicks in there, and then like he's all in buddy Cripper's face. And I'm like, fuck.
Because he slung Weeders near the on the boundary. Remember that
That's
tackle?
the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah, it's good. Fucking let him know. We've been fucking bullied the last 10 years. Our whole club.
Yeah.
2 decades, really.
And how old's Sam Wicks? Like, how old is this guy? What is he?
He's 22, 23.
He's older. I thought he was younger than that.
He's young but old. I don't know if that makes sense. Like he's on like rising star level.
21.
Yeah, but then when he got in the face, I'm just like, Stocker, go, mate.
Mark Murphy's young according to Carlton, so.
That's the excuse we always, I don't know, like, I'm not going to bag at our supporters. We are all one of them. But some of the excuses that I was listening to Tez, like today I was listening to him, the excuses that some of the supporters have, some mentioned the salary cap thing, which goes back when we were kids. Some like Mick Moldhouse. But I'm not saying these are good things, but I think you've got to stop blaming. Melbourne Storm. I'm not massive. You here to help me out, Jack and Daft, but they had the same sort of thing, and now they're a powerhouse club winning every game.
The year they got done for salary cap, they couldn't play finals the next year, right? They weren't allowed to. They came on top.
Yeah.
They came on top and couldn't play finals. Well, that shows you what the culture there.
Clubs. That's what I think
our
our biggest problem right now is culture or lack thereof. Like we don't have a defined culture that everyone buys into. I think it's our biggest problem right now.
Yeah. So I want all of your ins and outs for the actual, like, who is coming in and who is coming out when we say the teams tomorrow. Who do you reckon? Daff, you start.
Oh, this is tough.
Who's in and out?
On the spot.
Obviously,
Gibbo's out not long ago as well.
Gibbo's out, definitely. He'll be replaced by Zach Fisher, I think, maybe. I think Fisher. I'll lock in Fish.
Yeah.
Love it.
Levi out for Parks.
Yep.
Love it.
And I think,
I reckon that's it.
I don't know, but I feel like Dow has to come in.
I know, but who for? Maybe Cottrell? Maybe? Maybe Cottrell?
Yeah, I think Cottrell.
Or would you consider Fish for always?
No, I want always to play.
No. I always did kick a goal, but I still think his presence is good enough.
Yeah, he needs to play. He needs to play.
No, I would have had the same as Daff with that one.
Yeah.
Levi out for Parks, who when he comes in will not miss a game for the next 5 years because he's going to be a star. And then Fish
We love it.
I would say.
But I think you're right. I just think you need those kinds of players on the field. That's why I was very surprised that they didn't bring him in last week. Very surprised.
Yeah. I was very surprised. I was at the VFL match and he got touched up by 84 points, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he was just going, to the final siren. He was just going, getting there.
We love that.
And I think he's one of the silver linings in that game for sure.
Yeah. And especially
I have something a little bit different. Yeah. I have Parks in for Levi, and then I think we all have that. But I think Nunes being included is for a reason. I think he will come in for Cottrell to play on the wing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I have Dow in for Murphy. I think that's my 3 changes.
Okay. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Basically,
but that means that Michael Gibbons.
Oh, was that sorry?
Michael Gibbons is another player that.
Oh, Gibbons is out. Yeah, true. Fish in for the Gibbons. Yeah.
Right. So 4 changes.
So that's pretty much all. That's all the same, isn't it? Except you went Murphy out, Dow in.
Murphy Dow.
It's probably not too bad.
And then
you play Dow as sub there, or
no.
Probably Murphy will be sub again, I reckon.
Oh, what would you play?
Or even Cottrell as sub.
Yeah. Oh, I don't.
I know it's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because it's kind of like whether you want to play. Yeah, it's kind of down to if you want to play Zach Fisher, because I mean I want Zach Fisher to play, but it's kind of down to a bit like Jack Martin. Like, is he fit enough?
I don't think Martin should be playing, really.
Jack Martin be playing this week?
He is playing. He is. He's listed on the field.
Yeah.
I just no. He just wasn't it last week. He's just not fit enough.
He's not fit.
Maybe another week he'll be better, but
he didn't have that zip that he usually has. That pace he usually has.
Yeah, he just looks slow. Yeah.
But then you wouldn't expect that.
And he's taped up.
Well, I guess the same reason. You could say that about a lot of players, I guess.
I completely agree with you. It was a bit, first game back and all, but you don't just chuck him straight into the AFL,
What about Doherty then? Did Doherty bring himself back to I can't remember, to be honest.
Doherty played
did he bring himself
matches. So
yeah, but I don't think. But then no, for your argument of they were never the same player. Doherty hasn't been the same player. Nowhere near it. So
yeah.
That's a good one, mate.
I reckon that's fair.
We'll have a
Hasn't been the
separate
same player.
about,
And my changes probably Zach Fisher in for Michael Gibbons. Pretty straightforward. Luke Parks for Levi Casbolt. And I don't mind. I mean, I think we need to make 4 changes this week. And I reckon Mark Murphy's one of them for Paddy Dow and Jack Noon's in for Cottrell. Because I actually like that.
Again, we were the better team for, would I be right in saying we're the better team for, I'd say most of that game?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. From what I said, I was right. Yeah. From what I saw, we were the better team for most of that game. So 4 changes in a game where you play in Sydney, or a top 8 team, I imagine. Do you make 4 changes? It's a few changes. It is a few.
And I reckon that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You go, Jack.
I was just going to say, it is tough because 4 changes, a lot of changes, but I mean, I don't think we're winning not making big changes.
Yeah. But then make the changes and stick with them as well. Don't stick with them for a week and change them back. Stick with them because it's.
I do agree.
How's it going to be if one bloke's in out? Like, it's always changing. You need consistency as well. Yeah. Otherwise, you're not going to get used to playing together. Yeah. What do you think, Daff?
Yep, I do agree.
I agree with that. Completely agree. They do tend to keep guys in for longer than a week, and they shit names like O'Brien, but.
Right.
There's a reason for that.
Oh, yes. See, I love Lockie O'Brien. You boys all know it. I reckon he's one of my
favorites. I don't know where you get the love from, Mitch.
Honestly. I don't know why, but
Where do you ever see him to love him? Where do you ever see him?
I see better disposal efficiency in the under 14s down in my local club. Seriously.
Then again, that is a very good club with a lot of very good players down at the Waverley Blues.
Yeah, and the media managers.
Yes.
So you want some media done.
Down at those Waverley Blues, the da-da-da-das.
Have you lost a game yet? Or?
Nah, 7-0, mate.
7-0.
We didn't play this week.
Now you'll be undefeated.
We didn't lose this week.
All right, so Daff, I want you to take us through the key matchups for West Coast Eagles, please.
For sure. There's some pretty big matchups considering the outs that West Coast have. So they've got Allen out, Josh Kennedy out, Kelly out, Chi out, and Brander, who I think is terrible. He's number 10 for West Coast. Like every game I watch, he's the only shit player they have. So that's a good out for them.
Yeah.
So we'll go to matchups. So we'll go down back. So I think Waiters will take Jack Darling as he'll probably be the main focal point down there. What do we think of that matchup?
I reckon that's the most probably realistic one.
Logical, I'd say.
Yeah. I don't think Jones will go to Darling.
Yeah.
Wouldn't think.
No.
But who knows?
I hope it's Wiedering.
Well, I think they've got
Liam Stocker on him.
They've got Vardy listed as an in, so I think he might come in. So you might have to have Wiedering on him. Would Wiedering take Vardy or would Jones take Vardy?
Jones.
I take Jones Vardy. Yeah.
Jones Vardy, Wiedering, Darling.
Who covers Waterman?
Oh fuck, forgot about him.
Newman,
Waterman, and Liam
Parksy
Ryan
or Parksy.
Yeah, Parks, Newman.
Parks will probably take 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the whole forward line, Sammy.
Yeah, don't need that.
If I just don't
Parks
take
would be better
He's a
covering
star.
3 than Sard to be covering 1.
Oh.
Maybe it's best if Sard doesn't cover any. But yeah.
All right, we'll move on to the next
what I saw, he just seen he's a bit behind. You know, there's a few different whoever he's playing. I don't know, but yeah, Yeah, they seem like his defense.
Moving on. Yeah.
We'll touch on Sardi or a bit later in the episode. Maybe you can speak up.
No doubt, Jack will. No doubt he will.
Might fire up the steam coming out.
Oh, you never know.
We'll go for the middle.
Keep it on. Keep it on.
So I've got TDK versus Natanui, which was a great matchup last year.
He did well last year. He did really well.
Obviously, we lost again, so a good, respectable loss.
We lose every week. So.
In the wet as well.
That was. Nick Nat's a great ruckman.
One of the best.
Top three. Yeah.
What do we think of that matchup?
It's a test for TDK.
I honestly don't mind it.
It is good for TDK. Yeah, it is. Yeah. We'll give him a bit of a test.
I reckon he's up to it though.
Nick Nat will probably win it.
He'd have a bit of size on him.
Yeah, I think obviously TDK is probably a bit bigger than last year, but I think Pitto has got a big role this week just to get a bit of body on Nick Nat. Just just make sure he's not pushing around pushing around TDK all day.
By memory, last year they did play the two ruckmans. We did Pitto and TDK. They did, we did, didn't we? Yeah, and that was actually
TDK did much better than Pitto did. Yeah,
but I reckon Pitto's more of the get into him so TDK can take over.
Pitto,
exactly right. Yeah.
And then I reckon that's a good move because as I said, I love TDK playing forward. Love TDK playing.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah, I think he should be the main ruck in my eyes. Really, I think when Charlie Curnow's playing, Pitto won't play.
No.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but then
who goes back up ruck? Yeah,
the backup ruck pisses me off.
It does.
Do you have a backup ruck, Daffel?
Liam Jones, chuck him in there.
I reckon even do like a Geelong where they have Reece Stanley in the ruck as the whole thing, but when they go forward, Tom Hawkins goes in there. So I reckon even Harry Mackay could do that. Harry Mackay could play that.
No,
I wouldn't.
But I don't know what else they would do though. They can't play two. They can't play two ruckmen like we're doing now when Charlie Curnow comes back.
Matt
Owies.
Matt Owies.
Paddy Dow. Paddy Dow in there.
80 bets.
It is a question. That's why I don't think Levi is in the team for that, because I did hear a stat where he has only spent like 15% of games in the ruck or something like that.
He's actually a good ruckman.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. As far as Levi can, like a backup ruckman.
The only good thing he's done all year was the back heel for Chris Sealer against Essendon.
That was so good.
That was a good back heel. I think Man United on the phone.
I mean, like, no one really talks about when he literally dropped the ball and then he did the back heel, but that was he literally dropped the ball, should have been on the ball, and the next one
on the ball, back heel, somehow ends up to the best player on the ground. So move on to we've got another midfield matchup, which is usually when we verse the Eagles. Elliot Yeo versus Patrick Cripps. What do we reckon, boys?
Yes.
Yeo, was he playing last year, Yeo, or was he still injured?
Yes. Yeah, he came back for that game. Oh no, that was his last game before he got injured. Sorry.
Right. I rate Yeo so highly. I reckon he's a gun. So Kelly, that's a big miss, but still they have Yeo, Sheed, Redden. I don't rate Redden as highly, but he can still be a good player. And Andrew Gaff. You can't Andrew Gaff always kills us, I reckon. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's a tough one, boys. What are your thoughts?
I mean, Crib is in form, so it's much better for him to be playing against Yeo now than a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty even because Yo's just coming back and Crib is just hitting some form, so it's interesting. It's going to be really interesting.
Hitting some form. I don't think he's been completely out of form. It's been averaging 20, low to mid 20s.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I know what you mean.
I think he's been it's 50% of his games. He's been normal Cribs. I think.
Yeah,
I think people have been pretty harsh on him, myself included.
I agree.
Bit, I guess the contract. When's another subject there? When's the contract getting signed? But there's the contract talks as well. Sort of always spice that up a little bit, especially when you're a big game, big player like Cripps.
So I think he's
like Harry, for example. Same sort of
I think he's agreed to that deal, so that'll take a bit of weight off his shoulders. I think the Harry deal will get done by week or the week after that, I reckon.
Ooh. That's a big call.
I'd love it.
I think that
that'd be good. That'd be good.
His management's quite close with Liz manager and Carlton's.
Yeah. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. I'm starting to hear rumors, but like Harry Mackay won't leave Carlton. He's a Carlton Blue. He's a Blue.
The positive thing is they're talking about him so much because he's such a good player. We haven't had a player like that.
I know. They've talked. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, we're allowed to be nervous. You're allowed to be nervous, right? But I don't think you're moving.
I reckon there's. Yeah, I don't think there's big. I reckon there's been more leaving, but
Do you have any more matchups or?
Yeah, I've got one more matchup.
Who's forward? Who is
Barris
taking Mackay?
Against Mackay?
Yeah, Mackay.
That's honestly a good matchup because Barris is really good in the air. So that is, and that's what I'm scared because our 450 entries are absolute dog shit.
Yep.
And West Coast just eat them up every week.
Yeah.
So I'm scared about that one.
Barris. He was good in that premiership side as well, just being an intercept marker. I think the Eagles' defense, we should kind of base something like that. I think they usually have three predominantly tall defenders that can, not huge defenders, but we've got Jones and Weeder. Who's our next tall? Currently, Nick Newman.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly right.
Plowman usually would take the next big tall, but Plowman, like
he always takes a small though.
I know, but then
he's good on smalls. Yeah.
Actual size wise, I reckon he's probably the third tall.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, he is.
But
this
this is when we need.
I know.
It's interesting to see when they're all fit who does miss out in that back line. I think.
Yeah, they'll never all be fit. They'll never all be fit. It's never happened.
It's just our whole team. Yeah.
That's the end of the matchups. What are we up to now?
I'd like to just talk. So, what do you reckon about SPS? Will he be a Carlton next year? Where will he be? Sort of what's going on there?
It's looking less and less likely.
He won't be a Carlton next year.
As much as I hate to say it.
Where will he be?
There has been a whole lot of rumours with SPS.
There's actually been an offer apparently from the Fremantle Dockers.
Is it Fremantle? Yeah, it's Fremantle.
Deal. And I'm smelling. I'm just gonna whisper, Adam Chera.
Yeah, but we lose SBS, mate. We lose SBS. No,
but we lose SBS. Who's not? We're never gonna play him through the middle because Teague hates him through the middle.
Yeah. But did you see him like in the VFL? He was unreal in the VFL. Like. No, he wasn't unreal. But I love
change your tune pretty quickly.
But then I love
touches through the middle.
I love that look of SBS in the middle though. Was that is that just me? I love
What's his
that.
win-loss record?
No, I do agree.
I love the view.
You can't do that win-loss record. It's about half the players.
But then
Patrick Cripps' win-loss.
So then
Kate Simpson.
Yeah.
I saw the percentages of coaches. I can't remember off by heart, I think of the win-loss ratio. I think Bolton was the lowest out of the last sort of 5 or 6 with 20%. I think Teague's like the second highest. To Ratton was number 1, I believe.
Ratton was 50. So our best coach was bang on 500.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said our best coach is bang on 500. That's a little sad.
Yeah.
It's a tough, because I didn't think Teague's been like overly successful, but he's the second behind. Who was it? Rats? Who was the next one?
Yeah, Rats was 1, Teague 2.
See, Rats. What a coach. I loved Rats. And simply,
so everyone's saying that. Then, well, I mean, look at St Kilda. Yeah, like they've had. They sent that email.
If Woodsy's watching, sorry mate, but I think St Kilda's a culture. They can't win football games.
Yeah,
they can't win football games. Look at that team they had 2010, 2009. That is the most stacked. That is a stacked team. I know they're one of the best Geelong sides of all time, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I feel bad for the supporters more because.
They went into this year with such high hopes.
They just don't do it. They never do it. And they never deliver.
It's like us.
And they've been smashed by 80 plus points.
It's different than us. It is way different than us, mate. They have not won a flag since 66.
They get us dragged in. They say, the dream. And it's like, fuck you, mate. You aren't fucking living your dream. I mean, as you like that. So I was about to actually move on to the to the actual to the preview of the game. So what are our predictions for the game? Who's starting? Starting us off.
Well, I'll go then. So I'll go Carlton by 2 points. Parks to have a blinder.
Love it.
I reckon Eddie or Ollie's 3 goals each.
Needs a big game, yeah. Is it meant to be wet in Sydney? Does it? It's always.
No,
it's always wet.
I looked at it before. Yeah, it's not even sunny on Sunday. 5% chance of rain.
It's always dewy though.
So we can kick it 60%. Be great.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you play TDK, Pito, Mackay, Casbolt, Silvani even? Why are we playing all 5 talls if it's going to be dewy? If we know that it's going to be dewy. That's why Casbolt...
Levi can just get out of the picture.
For like fast-paced players.
It's a narrow ground.
Yeah, it's a narrow ground.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, so I'll go, Carlton by 2 points. 6 goals all up between the 2 small forwards, always in bets. What about you guys? Who's next?
I like it.
Jack, what you got?
I changed my tip last week to Carlton. I initially had Sydney. I changed it late to Carlton. I really obviously regretted it. But I'm back in the sin again this week. I got us by 11 points.
What about last week? Essendon in Perth. West Coast. So that's. Do you think that fires them up more?
Right. Let's not talk about them.
I mean, give credit where it's that was a pretty good win.
West Coast outs. With West Coast outs, we should not be losing. I have us by 11.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's really going to be that spectacular, but just get the win against the top side, please.
And like as Sam said, like I haven't won it. But then I was actually, I shouldn't be shocked, but I can't believe we're favourites against West Coast. But saying that, they have so many outs. They have so many outs, and I'm like, I don't know what they'll.
But we are Carlton.
Yeah, I know
we are. But Essendon. I'm not saying if Essendon's ahead of us or not, but Essendon bet them in Perth with not this many outs. Now we have these outs. We realistically think that we probably should be favourites, but they've got more outs. It's not played
West Coast
in their home ground where they don't predominantly win. Do you know what is the percentage of the games they win outside of WA? Do you know it? What is it?
They haven't won the SCG.
I'm not sure.
So.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably good that we're playing at the SCG then.
Yes. Set off this.
What about you, Daff? What's your predictions?
Daff, yep.
Oh, I've got us by 38.
Yep.
I
think I like that though. Like high expectations.
I'm worried.
Yeah, fair. Anyway, yep.
I'm worried. Obviously, every week I'm worried. I think the Smalls this week are in for a big one.
Yeah.
I think Harry might
get,
not beaten by Barris, but a bit like Hardigan a few weeks ago. Just a bit 50-50.
Yeah.
If he kicks three, we'll win the game.
Yeah.
Harry kicks 3, Carlton win the game.
Yeah, because I think his matchup's probably the hardest.
38.
Yeah. By 38.
Yeah. Jack, did you have any? What was your players you say we're going to start?
I didn't
sorry,
say
Jack. I think I cut you off.
I thought it was just going to be.
I must cut you off, Jackie boy.
What?
No, I'm not sure if you had any or not. But...
Oh, okay.
No, I just said it was just going to be a dirty win, but we just needed to get a win against a top 8 side. So I don't really think anyone's going to have a massive game.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, definitely.
And all right, we'll go to Mitch. What do you reckon?
So I had the Blue Baggers by 10.
Points.
10 points. Yeah. Well,
I hope so.
I should say 10 points after Daffy's 63-point predictions the other week against Hawthorn. But
it was looking good after the first 10 minutes.
It was. But it's a tough one because as we've already mentioned, I was stunned that we were favourites against West Coast because. But saying that, like they lost against Essendon last week on their home ground, their home turf, and I just think that that's a big loss, and I don't know how to look at it because sometimes that can be a confidence booster, or also that could make them
Not when you lose 5 players, though. I think.
Yeah.
I think when you lose
Yeah.
in a ground where you
Key
predominantly
players,
win,
yeah.
and you lose 5 very well known, very key players. It's
Exactly.
I agree with the outs that we should win. Now, obviously, I've tipped us to win by 38. But over the last, however long, we're always so like all the fans, like myself included, we're always worried about their outs and in.
I know.
Exactly.
Just worry about us.
Yeah.
Perform still. They're not a pushover team. They've got some players coming in.
Yeah.
Vardy, you might say, oh, he's not the best ruckman. He's a fucking premiership ruckman.
Exactly right.
Oh, yeah.
It's more you can say about any of our players.
Yeah,
Because, exactly right.
Because a stat I
Is that
also
all,
had is that we haven't beaten West Coast since 2014, and that was after that big 3-point win. Eddie Maguire, I think was the call when he was like,
Menzel.
Unreal. And then when they hit the post twice in like a minute, in like the last minute, that was crazy. But see, this is just another team that have had the wood over us once again. So we need to show against like we did against Hawthorn, we're favourites. We are expected to win. This is pretty much, it was a do or die win last week. But I still think we're a chance to make finals. Very, very slim.
Low chance, but
it will be a miracle. It will be a miracle. But we need to have, we need something to start. And this could be the game. This could be, the fire starter. This could be the fire starter. So
time for everyone's favourite part of the show with Speak Up Speechly. Take it away, Jack.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, this week, I think we all know what we're going to be talking about. Red time goals.
Oh.
Once again, it's just frustrating. Like, we're up by 3 goals early on, and then hit the 5 minutes to go, and then we decide to stop playing football. I'm over. I am over it. Every single week, every quarter, every year. Sick of it. Late time goals. I'm over.
And this is not a new thing.
I don't know what's got to change.
You've been saying this for a few weeks now. Before all the media's been saying it. You've been saying it for a while.
It's just frustrating. Like the Hawthorn game in that second quarter was atrocious, and you thought maybe you would learn from that, but apparently we really haven't.
Why? Why?
Once again, why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
And then also, what else I wanted to touch on as well was our transition. We talk about defensive transition every week. It's terrible, but it was especially bad this week after we kicked behind, like after their kick-ins from behinds. So many times, like 3 kicks are in their forward line. Like we kicked how many behind?
They're like walking it through the middle.
We kicked 12 behind.
Yeah.
They're walking it through the middle of the ground. Like you're watching it there. It's like where are the cones? Like
pretty much. Yeah.
It was just so frustrating. I was yelling my head off at the TV like every time it happened. And it happened easily 6
We've all watched. We've all been in the footy with you. We've watched the footy with you. We know how it goes.
Mate,
Well, we're all passionate, but there's an extra layer.
Extra layer.
I just don't understand it.
Never go full speed.
Yes.
But Jack, what do you?
It's not good.
So with the red time goals, what do you think is the main thing? Like, is it mental? Is it the actual players getting tired with the red time goals? What do you think is the main thing that you reckon is why we concede so many goals in red time? What do you think it is?
It is a great question. It seems to be every quarter, once it hits 25-minute mark or 5 minutes to go left in the quarter, we just stop. So I think it has to be mental, and starting capacity has to be mental, and then it has to be. I don't know. I think mostly has to be mental because other teams play the full quarters. I think we need to stop worrying about playing 4 quarters and got to start worrying about playing full quarters.
I know.
I like that. That's good.
That'll be sad as a kid.
That's
a nice intro.
It's just frustrating. Like surely we can fix that this week. If we concede another run of goals in a quarter this week, I'm going to lose my marbles. Holy moly!
But we said that a couple of weeks ago.
And that's about it.
And but they did it again.
They're not listening to me
again. I don't understand it. Speechy, I think you might need to go to team soon.
Mate, I got to get in the box. Mate.
Get him on here.
I don't really know what's going on.
Imagine Speech in the box. I pay money to watch that.
Get some
the class in it.
Mate, that'd be worse than that. Come on. That's about
Bang.
that's about it for Speak Up Speech. Questions now?
Bang, there it is. All right. Let's move on to some questions. All right. I'll go through these. So first up, we've got from, well, that's a quick one. So Alex, this is from Alex Murkov's fan account.
Hey.
Is Murkov the real deal? We've already sort of briefly touched that. So we'll see. What do you reckon?
Yeah, we've kind of mentioned it, but I mean, as we said, I feel like he probably needs this year to get used to what AFL is, have a big preseason, put on some body, maybe touch up his skills a bit. I like him. I like him.
It's hard to tell. He's played 2 VFL games, but I mean, I'd love for him to be a great footballer.
Yeah,
clearly he plays for us now.
Yeah,
well, he's definitely exactly right. He's definitely an athlete, so if we can definitely get the skills,
right.
oh geez, he could be all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Sam, what's your thoughts?
All right. Mine.
Yep. Anything else from you?
Yep.
About that?
I think I reckon he'll complement TDK really well going forward, and I think the fact they are 18-month contracts, it's a good sort of thing. So see what we get out of him and see how he's progressing, and then see where we go from there. But yeah, I mean, the signs are there. He might end up all right there. All right. Moving on to the next question. It's from Declan Johnson. Shout out to Declan.
Hey, DJ.
It's like a top fan.
So won't talk about that.
Does he have the top
so so his question is, who do you think the next captain of Carlton will be? Or do you see any, just in general, I guess, do you see any changes in captaincy? Will we keep it to Cripps? Who will be after Cripps? All that sort of stuff.
I reckon Waiters.
Lucky O'Brien. I don't know why I'm laughing. I would love to see that.
Yeah, Paddo's like, Paddo loves it.
Get it done.
I mean,
Walshy.
I think it's hard to go past Wiedering and Walsh. What I thought.
Yeah.
I'd take Waiters over Walshy.
Yeah. But
I personally don't think Waiters is going to be a captain. I don't think he will.
Really?
With the age, if Cripper stays and Cripps is captain, he probably won't really get the chance, I don't think. Yeah, I probably do agree with that. You got to look a bit younger, probably Walsh or someone else even that's up and coming, I guess. What do you say?
Yeah.
Oh, McAvoy.
Or did.
Big boy McAvoy.
He's about 45 years old. It was his first year as captain. So.
How old is he? He must be pretty old. He's been around for a long time.
He's just old.
He looks like you look at him, like he looks from the Stone Age, mate.
Always wears the
tape. There you go. We don't. Come on.
Cunners, I reckon Ben Cunners, and he looks a lot older than what he actually is. Because he's not terribly old.
About 50,
yeah. But he's not,
very
he's
good.
Too old.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, what do we got?
I reckon after that.
Who do you reckon the next captain will be, Mitch?
I reckon it would probably. I think they need to go from Doc and Cripper to Cripper, but I don't know how Doc would. I hope Doc would see that as no worries, mate. I will go help. Like I will go be a leader for everyone else in the back line or in the midfield as a winger. I hope he doesn't say that as fuck. I'm leaving this club now because I lost the captaincy. I hope he doesn't say. I don't think he.
But
will
I don't think he.
I would hope.
I think he's like that.
I think if it changes, it would be his decision.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think Carlton been pretty good to him as well. Like, I think he'd stay there. He's going to be. He's not old, but he's going to be older now. So I don't think he wants to play anywhere else. Yeah. Jack, next captain of Carlton. Who is the next captain of Carlton? Jack. Wiedering. Bang. All right. Moving on to the next question. We'll go from Carlton zone. We will go why. So why are we so bad? Well, I've already been going for an hour, so we could talk about that for another hour. So keep it short, I reckon. Daff, why are we so bad?
Why are we so bad? Because we make constant errors every week that we never fix. It's been years and years, coaches and coaches, players and players. It's the same shit every week. But I think we'll be fine.
If you could just put one thing though, would it be? I'd go. I know it is hard to go one thing with us because there's a multitude of things, but coaching staff. Can you look at not like Teague or anything, but Barker and all that sort of stuff? Yeah. What do you reckon?
Yeah, the culture, the winning culture.
No one's used to it, but it's definitely right.
Losing culture, yeah.
I think we should bring in Lepic in some sort of fashion. Not necessarily assistant coach. I don't think he wants. He wants to be some other role. I don't know, some head of coaches or some,
Wasn't it? Yeah, because Juddy,
What
was
Woodward
the
is.
leper that Juddy approached as well. Or?
Yeah,
And then
and they
also we
both-
approached him to be on the. How's the communication there? You know, two people from the same company basically approaching one bloke for two different jobs.
Yeah,
Love it.
All right, Mitch, why is Carlton so bad?
Oh,
Why are we that bad? Are we that bad? I think we've got
I
a
don't
lot
reckon
better.
that. I just think our expectations are so fucking high because we are fucking.
Are they?
Yep, I
rebuild.
agree.
Yeah, but it's a 6-year rebuild. I touch on it every single week, but I feel like
40-year
it's
rebuild.
because I hate it because every single year at the end of the year we get players that we wanted. We fucking listen to buddy Kane Little. Oh, it's our year, boys. We're making finals. We're going on a buddy 20-year winning streak of winning every single premiership ever, VFL and AFL. But I just think the main thing is we need more champions into the club. Simple.
Yes.
Simple.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
See, I mean, it depends what you classify as bad. I mean, on-field success has been non-existent, obviously. It's not been great there. But I think if you look off-field, I couldn't fault. I reckon they've done a really good job. Like, I was talking to one of the ladies in Carlton College Sport the other day, and with our members, I thought it was 80,000. She was saying 89,000 it got to, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But a lot of the objectives they had as a club, debt-free, like they've done very well. So I think, the one thing they haven't passed is the on-field success, which is not much. There's only a certain amount they can do about that.
I think
well,
it'll come.
But
I think it'll come. Like
I think the way they're doing it down there, they're doing a
does.
really good job.
You can't be like I heard. Was it David King the other day talk about our side? And you've got an All Australian fullback, you've got an All Australian full forward, you got an All Australian midfielder, you got Paddy Cripps, you got players, you got enough players. Though, like seriously, like it's that close. I reckon it's that close until we really.
Yep.
That's the thing. Why do we have all these people that are winning these individual awards, but as a unity, as a team, it's not there? Like we have the players to a certain extent. We have the Harry, Cripper, Walsh, Weeders, and there's 4 different positions there. Like, but why are they just not working well together? Like, what is it?
I think it just takes a while to click. Like you look at Melbourne,
it's perfect.
Jacker gone. You got some good players, Oliver,
Even,
and what they done the last 2 years. Like I know they made the prelim 2018, but 2019 they finished below us, and then after that they missed the finals. They're a bit better last year, and now look at them. It's like that.
Yeah,
it's a little,
Even Brisbane a few years ago, yeah.
Especially, what about you?
I just think culture. Not just end of story. Just culture. Lack of winning culture.
Bang, there it is. All right. I think that almost just about wraps it up, doesn't it?
I reckon that's all done.
I would ask where you guys are watching the footy from, but there's not many places you could be watching it from, I guess.
Yes. But
I don't know where I'll go. I don't know if I'll go to the pub or I'll watch it from here. I don't know where I might go.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I could go to a few places as well.
Oh, look at the flex. Look at the flex on the boys. Me and Daff just here being like, yeah, sweet. Look, yeah.
Go to
poor metro areas.
We had the, like I sent you a group message about the Granada the other night. It's like a local pub down here. And where Cade Simpson's supposed to be in about a week's time, funnily enough.
Hey.
Palmer's the size of the ones you get in Melbourne, usually $24, $9.95 every day. $10, on pizza.
Tasmania's not
steaks.
a real place, mate.
I'm coming to Tassie, Sarah.
It's fairy tale. It's fairy tale. What's that?
I'm swimming to Tassie. I'm swimming to Tassie to grab $9.98.
Medium rare. It was a bit medium rare.
Medium rare chicken parma. What?
Yeah, that's the way you want it.
Been a good episode, boys. Been a good episode.
Nah, but it was good. It was good.
Good job, lads.
Good to have me back, I'd imagine.
Oh, Sammy,
yes,
as we
100%.
said, like you bring the views, mate. You bring the views.
100%.
Exactly right.
But because I just wanted to touch on also about about everyone. I'm sure a lot of our viewership will be in Melbourne, Metro Melbourne, and of course everyone who is in lockdown currently, and also in regional Victoria, and actually all around Australia as well. We know how tough it is, but we've been through it once. We've been through it 3 times. This is our 4th time, but just remember we will get through it once again, and we as a union and us four as well, we will always be here to reach out if you ever need a chat. And we always like doing these videos to get it out to the public, just to make your lockdown just a little bit happier. Yeah. Boys, it's been a pleasure once again. Episode 3.
Yes,
and we will look to, I guess, produce a bit more content throughout the lockdown just to keep people engaged and
100%.
happy, and everyone can stay safe and see everyone around.
Thanks, guys.
Beautiful.
Is that all done, boys? You boys are all done? Nothing else to say?
Yes.
That's
all good, mate.
And of course, as every single week, go the Mighty Blues.
Come on.
Go Blues.